Hey everyone, I'm Melanie from Streamline Legal, where we help law firms get the most out of their practice management software. And today that's exactly what we're talking about. I'd like to give this a second shot for anyone that watched us live earlier today. We had some technical difficulties, but we're back at it. And we're talking about how we can get our emails into our practice management software automatically without having to sort them or forward them ourselves. And I will tell you that most practice management software these days does have a feature that allows us to store email in it. So for example, My Case allows this, Practice Panther, Clio. My Case handles it by giving you an email address for each user, and you can forward your emails into that address and then sort them once they're in My Case. Practice Panther will allow you to send an email to a matter or to a contact, and so it'll go straight there if you use the correct email address. And then Clio also will allow you to save emails under a matter and gives you an email address per matter that you can then forward your email into that email address to save it into Clio. However, of course, this takes a certain amount of forwarding or work on the part of the attorney. And so I wanted to present you with an easier way to do this. Now, the reason that the practice management companies aren't setting this up is because they're working on the assumption that you could have multiple matters or cases for one client, or you could have multiple cases you're working on with an opposing counsel. So when those emails come in, they can't necessarily identify what matter it's supposed to be for. Now you can set up codes and stuff like that to make that work if you want to remember to put codes into your emails every time. But I think that if you're in a situation where you only have one case per client, or if you only have one case per opposing counsel, then, or judge, or any other contact like that, then this is going to be a really helpful tool for you to use. So I'm using Gmail in my example here. And please keep in mind, though, that you can accomplish the same thing with Outlook if you use what Outlook calls rules. Gmail calls them filters, Outlook calls them rules, and that's the tool that we're going to mainly use to accomplish this. So you will see that I am in my Gmail account, and I am going to do a couple things to set this up and make sure that this works. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure to let Clio know that they can accept incoming emails from the Gmail forwarding address. Now, usually when I send an email into Clio, it looks and says, okay, it's from Melanie, it's from the user, so we'll accept it into Clio. If an email is sent by somebody else to this address, they will not let it into Clio. So the first thing I need to do to make this work in Clio is I need to go ahead and find this email address, which is the Google forwarding address. When forwarded emails come from Google, they come from basically with this address. So by the way, I will put this link into the notes so that you can find this page if you need to. This is off of Clio's help section. And so I'm going to take this email address and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go into my Clio settings here. And I'm going to go to Profile. And I'm going to go to Mail Drop Email Aliases. So right now, again, it's only taking email from Melanie at streamlinelegal.com because I'm the user. But now I want it to be able to take in email from forwarding at non-reply or dash non-reply at google.com. I do that by just simply adding the email address there and saving it. So now that it's a recognized email address, now I'm going to go into Clio and I'm going to find the case that I'm working on. So I know that I have a case and the client's name is Melanie. And this is the only case I have with her. So every email that comes from her I know is going to be regarding this case. So I want those automatically saved into Clio under the Communications tab where Clio saves emails. So in order to make this happen, I need to get the email address for that case. And I do that by coming over here to the new email log with the little arrow next to it, copy the matter mail drop address. And then I will go ahead and go over to my Google account. I'm going to go to my settings in Google, and I'm going to go to forwarding, and I'm going to add a forwarding address so that Google knows it's safe to forward to this email address. I'm going to paste in that email address from the Leonard case in Clio that we just copied. And I'm going to say next, and I'm going to ask it to proceed. And they say a confirmation code has been sent to this address to verify that we have permission to do this. Now, the good news is now it's going to recognize that email address, and I'm going to go over to Clio here, and when I refresh my page, that code from Google should be right here on top. You see it right here. So we're going to open that message, find that code, copy and paste it, and put it into my Google settings to verify that email address. And once that's done, now I have the option of forwarding emails to that email address. Now, of course, I don't want to forward all of my emails, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up a filter. And so I'm going to, in my settings, I'm going to click on filters, and I have the option here to create a new filter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to say that when the email is from Melanie@streamline.legal, then I'm going to create a filter down here that forwards the email to, and I'm going to pick that matter's email address. So now every time Melanie@Streamline Legal sends an email into me and this email account, it's going to forward it to the matter in Clio. And so I'm going to click create that filter, and I'm going to head on over to my inbox, and we're going to test this. And so I'm going to have an email sent off my phone from Melanie@Streamline.legal to this email account. And so that should come into our inbox any minute here. And when that happens, it should also be forwarded over to my Clio account, specifically into that correct matter. And so here's our email that just came in. And according to our filter we just set up, that should be sent over to the Clio matter for this case. So I'm going to click on the matter. We were looking at that email before. Here's our list of emails for that same matter. I'm just going to refresh the screen here. And there it is. It is right there. So again, this is an awesome technique to use if you only have one matter for each client. You could put all of your clients in there conceivably and have all of their emails sent directly into your practice management software. Or if there are other people that you are interacting with on the case and you're only interacting with them on that case and not any other case at the same time, an opposing counsel, a judge, something like that, you could set up a filter for them as well and have all of their emails going straight into the Clio matter as well. So I hope this is helpful for you. I think it's a fantastic tool to use. Now, granted, it does have to be set up each time you have a new matter or each time you have a new person that you want to filter emails in for that matter. But I do think that it's going to save you a lot of time and energy to have those automatically forwarded there to you. So please let me know if you have any questions. Please let me know if this works out for you. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.